What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about ISO, what it is, why it's important, and how you can use it to take better pictures and videos. And we're going to do all that in about 5 minutes. Let's get going. Today we're talking ISO. And what is ISO? Well, simply it's your camera sensor's sensitivity to light. And although it's an important part of the exposure triangle, it doesn't have a creative aspect like shutter speed or aperture. When you make a change to your ISO without changing your aperture or shutter speed, what you're really doing is increasing that exposure when you put your ISO up and decreasing the exposure when you put it down. So you're thinking, great, I've got my aperture and my shutter speed set exactly where I want it, but my picture's underexposed. So you bump your ISO up, right? Well, it does come at a cost, specifically image quality. The higher you start bumping up that ISO, the noisier, grainier it's going to be. You're going to lose sharpness, you're going to lose dynamic range, and some colors. Alright guys, so we're just diving right in here. And we've got some comparison photos of just how much ISO can really impact your photos. So diving in here, this is actually from entry-level camera, just an older Canon, I think it was T3i. It's a crop sensor. Just to give you an idea, the reference photo is going to be 100 on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side we're going to cycle through and see the differences. So right now that's the 200 ISO. We're going to jump up to 400, 800, 16, 3200, and 6400, and you can really start to see some of that nasty grain come out. And at this point you could probably say that that's not a usable picture, maybe with some heavy editing, but you can really see how quickly that can start to deteriorate your photo. So that's an idea there, 100 on the left and 6400 on the right. And also I've also included here some shots of a better camera, a newer camera. It's the Sony A73. It's a full frame sensor, and a lot of the newer cameras perform incredibly well in low light, and their ISO capabilities are just insane. So I'll show you the differences here. We've got 100 on the left there and 200 on the right. There it is. And 400, 800, 1600, 3200, 6400, and you can still see here that even at 6400 it's quite usable, really retaining a lot of that detail, and we can go up even higher, 12,800, still usable really, 25,600, and it's starting to get a bit grainy there, and 51,200, and this is going to be the end of our native ISO range. And just for fun, I took one all the way up to the extended range, 204,800, and obviously not usable, but just for fun. And you can see just what's possible if you really needed to do it. So let's just do a quick comparison of the Canon and the Sony there, just for fun. To see some of the differences here. Where are we? That's the one. That's 6400 on the Canon there on the left, and over here on the right, this is Sony's 6400. So you can really see the differences in the quality and what these sensors are these days are able to do. Pull a heck of a lot of detail out and still maintain that quality picture. So even at 12,800 here, it's obviously still much better. 25,600, pretty comparable, I'd say. Yeah, 50. We're all the way up at 51,200, and I'd say that's about Canon's 6400, and it's close as well. So just incredible what these things can do, and I really hope that gave you a bit of perspective on what ISO is doing as it changes through these ranges here. So If it's still a little bit confusing to you at this point, consider watching my video on the exposure triangle, and that's going to really give you an idea about how it's going to relate to aperture and shutter speed in real time. Well, that's it for this one, guys. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, consider giving me a like and a subscribe. Drop your questions and comments below. And of course, make mistakes, be yourself, and get out there and take some pictures. See you in the next one.